under blue skies at Soldier Field. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Khalil Herbert to return it from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. The big story all week, Texans coach Lovie Smith making his return to Chicago. Lovie, of course, the coach of the Bears from 2004 to 2012, and he was at the helm when the Bears won that NFC title in 2006. Wound up 81-63 during his tenure here in the Windy City. Then he would have that pit stop down in Tampa and then come back to the state of Illinois as the head coach of the Fighting Illini in the Big Ten before returning to the National Football League. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a third down. Well, this defense for the Texans very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Throwing on third down, Fields. And a big loss here as he's taken down. On fourth down, Fields. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. They'll stay on the ground. Ballage again. And he's brought down. Here we go now on first and goal.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackle. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Kalen Ballage, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans are on the board first here this afternoon. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
From the end zone, here comes Herbert. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up, and they gave the touchdown that was just given up.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. The Bears at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge...
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Following the interception here, Mariota. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
The Houston Texans were looking to add another playmaker to its receiving group this offseason, and they'll certainly get that from John Mechie from Alabama. He had over 2,000 yards in his final 2 years with the Crimson Tide. Expect to see him involved early and often in every game and really be a good blocker when they run the ball as well. Here, he catches the football and moves the chains. But I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Play action now, Mariota. This ball caught by Mechie. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 19. From the red zone now, Mariota. And this is going to be intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And the Bears are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away? It could cost them a ball game.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now a give running right is Montgomery. Oh, look at the juke. Room here to run. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one good for 33 and a first.
Well, we saw David Montgomery lead the nation a few years back in broken tackles when he was at Iowa State. And he's proven to be difficult to bring down in the NFL as well.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Fields now to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
A 6-yard loss. It's 4th down.
Running for it, Montgomery. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie. He'll get it inside the 20.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. 38 yards.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Throwing, Mariota.
The pass finds Mechie in the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. John Mechie
with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Texans go up by 2 touchdowns.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
From the end zone, here comes Herbert.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now a run with Montgomery, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action.
2nd and 10.
Now a give running left with Montgomery. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
A 3-yard loss on the play. It's 4th down.
They snap it to Fields.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. They go play action. Mariota. This is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
John Mechie
with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Texans will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
From the end zone, here comes Herbert.
Khalil Herbert on return. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
On play action, Fields.
On the move to his, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. We've seen this offense do some unconventional things thus far, but they couldn't go for it on 4th down here, could they?
Could someone patch us into the head coach's headset? Punt the ball.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return.
And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Ballage And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Again, it's Ballage. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Final play of the half here, Mariota. He's going to throw one up from the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The drive will commence with a run by Ballage. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Mariota, and he'll find Akins there, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They run it with Ballage.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Mariota. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 37. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And he gets it down to the 32.
44 yards on the ground for him so far.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Ballage. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll run here with Ballage. And he is going to lose yardage here. 4th down, Mariota. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2. 1st down marker at the 5-yard line. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Now Mariota on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Bears will get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Jalen Petrie picks it off. Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. They'll get this to about the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. Touchdown, Houston. Marcus Mariota with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Texans are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
From the end zone, here comes Herbert. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
And all this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Here's Fields. They're firing a deep ball for Kmet. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 66 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Mariota now.
Open man is Mechie, and he's got him.
And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Toss play to Ballage. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. On the toss, here's Ballage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
1, 3.
They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
Mariota to throw for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Bears will get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Jalen Petrie picks it off.
And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
That kind of puts the bow on what has been a complete performance, Charles. They're pitching a shutout on the other side in this offense. They've done their thing well, too.
Yeah, this game has been an all-out effort from them on every snap, and there's a good amount of pride on the line right now.